Do I look okay?
Look
I
great.
can't see.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. You look fine. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am coming to you from home. This is the SOS show with James Lott Jr. It is Monday, June 1st, 2020. Yes, like the TV show. And we're coming to you from our homes. Yes, that's right. It's how life is these days in the COVID-19 shelter at home. And I'm James Lott Jr., your host, and I'm so glad to be here kicking off my 5th anniversary month, however that works. I've been doing this for 5 years, folks. I cannot believe it. 5 years goes by fast. And I've had amazing guests. I've done over 300 shows. This is crazy. I did all of them. I don't know what's going on. I've talked to many people. But I brought on a returning guest who I just love dearly. She's the owner of Stacy Thomes Organizing. And she's now, from being a marketing director at NAPO-LA, now she's the newly elected Vice President of the LA chapter of NAPO. So fancy. I love it. And she's coming to you from her home, Miss Stacy Thomes. Hi, Stacy.
Hi, James. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. And so first, before we start, I always do my thanks and gratitude because I believe in giving thanks and living in gratitude. And I actually want, this is my first chance to say this, I want to give everyone thank you for my birthday wishes, my birthday cards, my birthday gifts. I was given a hammock for my birthday and I love it. So thank you very much for the hammock in the backyard. All the food people sent me, they Venmo me money and I bought food in their honor for me. Thank you very much for all the food. I ate very well. Special thanks and gratitude to Harold and Bells for their gumbo. It was delicious. And in all seriousness, I really do appreciate it. It was a strange birthday, turning 51 this year, in self-quarantine, social isolation, whatever words you want to use. But it did help it go a little nicer knowing that you guys were out there virtually for me as I made another trip around the sun. I'm trying to sleep with steaks in my face. I stay young. But either way, I'm glad I made it. And I live in gratitude for actually being here. And again, I want to dedicate this show to my brother, Max, who didn't make it to this age. So he died before this. So I want to make sure that I give a little shout out to him. Because I know he was with me on that day too. Because we would have sat together and laughed and talked that whole day and get a chance to do that. But I want to give thanks and gratitude for that. And again, to all the essential workers, all of the nurses and doctors and firefighters and policemen and CNAs and CMAs and everybody out there who's out there trying to help fight this. So everybody who's working on trying to find a vaccine and going through taking the tests. You know, this is a tough time, and it does not go unnoticed by me. I do see it and I feel it. So thank you very much for all that. So Miss Stacy, first of all, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I love your thanks and gratitude. And happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, now I'm in my 50s. I love it. Actually, it's good. Actually,
I'm with you.
I know you are, girl. We look great. You look good. I look good. This is how it looks, folks. This is how it looks, people, between the two of us.
50 is the new 30.
It is. It is.
I'm doing good. You know, I've been quarantined at home with my husband, my 2 teenagers, and my dog. And, not working. I was able to collect unemployment, which has been nice for sure. Yeah. And taking this time to really, work on my connections and doing some virtual organizing. And yeah, just day by day. I don't know where the days go.
What is today? Is it Tuesday, Thursday, Thursday? I mean, sometimes I'm like, what day is it today? Like literally, what day is it today? I don't understand. What's the dates?
Yeah, it's weird not really keeping a schedule. Been doing like a lot of Zoom meetings, but now, now things are rolling in. Clients are, I'm doing a move for clients, and then I have another move coming up almost in both in June. So, for a while there, I was nervous, thinking, hey, no one's going to hire an organizer anymore. Everyone's going to be broke and, not meet, everyone's going to be organizing this whole time at home. Nope.
Nope.
So, yeah, I think I'm hopeful that people have spent so much time in their space that they're like, help me get rid of all this crap I don't need. I want to simplify. I'm hoping people are, going to be reaching out more.
I think this is going to happen because I did a thing. I was telling people, now you're home in your space. Now you're seeing how it either works for you or doesn't. Now you're really seeing. Because a lot of us, we take for granted. We leave at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then we'll get home till 5 or 6 or 7 at night. So the whole day, you're not really here doing stuff. you're out there doing your life. You come home, you drop the keys off, you make some food. Like now people are home all day. They're seeing like, yeah, this kitchen doesn't work the way I could for me. I've heard these things from clients going, James, I do need you in that closet. Like it's not, like, oh, I do need to clear out that one room. It's not, and I have no space in there. Like, yeah, that's what that's what happens when you're home 24/7, basically.
Totally. And hopefully people are reevaluating what they need, like in their, every day when I open up my closet to pull out my leggings, I'm like, why do I have all these clothes? What are these shoes? And I regularly edit my closet, but still it's like, I don't, I've realized how much if I have an hour or some time in between picking up a kid or going to a client, I might go into a store and spend some money. And I'm not doing that now, clearly.
Yeah.
So it's helping me reevaluate what that's all about, like this boredom consumption that it's so ingrained in our daily lifestyle. And it's been a good time to reflect on that.
I agree with you completely. I've been editing my stuff too. I've gotten rid of a lot of things, and it's been fun actually because I started going through my drawers. That's like another place. I was like, let's go. I have a cabinet. Let's go through the drawers. Let's go through each one. And I'm telling people out there, you don't have to kill yourself doing this either. You got plenty of time. You can take your time, do a drawer here, a drawer there if you want to. But for me, it was fun to see. Actually, I started originally going through drawers to see what I had that was emergency stuff. I want to make sure that so now I have an actual area that's all emergency stuff. It's all in one I have a drawer in a corner. It's all there. So I told myself, that's a great way to tell people this one way to do stuff. Just kind of go through and then you start seeing, oh, I do have hand sanitizer. I had hand sanitizer. It's from Days of Our Lives. But I got Days of Our Lives hand sanitizer, folks. Things like that. I mean, it was kind of funny to see. I do have gloves. I was like, oh, I have gloves? I mean, there's times you forget what you have sometimes because you don't use it all the time. But by doing that, I did go through, I got rid of a lot of stuff that was just like, I don't need it. Like, why do I have it? I don't need it. And I've been actually losing weight during this time period, which is rare. I mean, it's kind of like, how do you do that? So I've been getting rid of old clothes that are just too big. I'm just giving them away and just getting them out there. So it's a great time to reevaluate.
That's great. Yeah. And I love like taking inventory of what you do have. Then because we too had a whole earthquake prep, like a huge trash can.
I love it.
With stuff. And we had masks, we had gloves. I also have working gloves I use for jobs that I can wash, which are so much better than
I agree.
Trash, But it's a great time to inventory what you have. Yeah. Throw away old meds and old things,
That's what I did. Basically, I did my pantries, and they're pretty good anyway because I'm really pretty much on there. But now that I'm actually cooking every day, 3 meals a day most of the time. I mean, I've really been cooking a lot. I am so tired, but I've been cooking a lot. Now again, I'm seeing, I better use this up now. So I've been learning how to rotate the cans and rotate and use them. And like, it's a great lesson for everybody just to kind of do that.
I love it.
Yeah, I do. I love it too. So you mentioned a little bit that you were a little nervous about the business. I was the same thing. I was like, okay, most of my clients are in person. I'm helping them with moves, or they're senior. I work with a lot of seniors. They can't do virtuals. I was like, what the F am I going to do, basically, at first? And I had a little small panic in the beginning. But I was kind of like, and so you said a little bit, you too, kind of thinking, what am I going to do? Right?
Right. And virtual is a totally different beast. Like you are a coach. I'm not a coach. I don't have experience in coaching, which is basically what virtual organizing is. Yeah. So early on, I was doing free virtual organizing on Wednesdays on Zoom. And first I did it on Facebook, but it's hard for me to do Facebook because I can't see, I don't know. I'm just not a tech person. But I started doing it on Zoom and I was helping a few people and that was really nice. But someone hired me to do her pantry and it took a lot of time. Like it wasn't just the 1 hour of meeting her. It was the follow-up and the planning and like mapping out the pantry and counting the bins to tell her what to order. It was very time consuming. And then we did all that. And once all the bins came in, I gave her like a whole list of what to do. And then I'd meet up with her and she's like, can you please just come over and do that? So that was my first virtual gig. So I did. I ended up going over there with mask and glove
Yeah.
and put it all together for her in a couple hours. But it's a different type of organizing.
I give
And
the girls who do it, I mean, good for you. The ones who do it really well, they do it. I'm like, I bow to you, the ones who do it. My clients that I have right now, because I have coaching clients, I have clients that I coach, they're separate. But for organizing, for me, it just didn't, my clients, it wouldn't work for them. They need me
yeah,
there.
I like to be in this space. That's the kind of learner I am, like a kinesthetic learner anyways. I like to be doing what I'm doing. So yeah, it was a good thing to, I took a class, I got a certification in virtual organizing through NAPO, and I listened to podcasts and I spoke with other virtual organizers, and now it's something I can do. If, I actually have a virtual client tomorrow morning,
Very good.
so I'm gonna just help her over Zoom, and we'll see.
God bless Zoom. All I know is, why did I get stuck in the company before this happened?
Oh my, right?
Like,
Seriously.
I saw a play that was done entirely on Zoom 2 weekends ago called
That's
What Love Meets Corona. It was I was watching it for the technical thing, and I was just like, wow, this actually, it worked. I got into the play. I mean, the boxes that would come and go, and people would come in and out, but I really found myself into the play at some point.
Well, it's storytelling. If it's a good story, then sure. I guess there's lots of different mediums it could
Yeah,
be.
so I'm saying Zoom is like this. Us two talking this, other meetings, other. It's just Zoom is like the godsend right now. It
So
really is. So
it,
now, okay. So now you are now, because this is the exciting. This is the exciting part. You are now the Vice President elect of the NAPO-LA chapter. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So that's
Yeah,
you,
that's
you and Shara Kay as the president. My girl,
I
who's
know.
also a former guest of the show. I have to get her on the show again too. Former guest of the show. So you guys are the new leaders.
Yeah, and it's such an interesting time because, typically we would be having our big retreat. We're going to be doing like a Zoom retreat this Saturday for all the new incoming board members. We have a larger board this term because, about half of our board left, and we've got about 6 new board members
Very
for
good.
their first time serving. And the positions have been divided up a little differently. The girl who's taken over for me as director of marketing, she's awesome, she's adorable, and I think she's going to do a great job. She has a background as an event planner.
Well, there you go. Well, yeah.
In music, you would love her. Her name is Emma. And, as vice president, mostly my duties are primarily for events, which right now is like, well, what events?
Right.
But I'm excited for next year, our conference. The NAPO conference
In
is going to
Long
be in
Beach.
Los
I'm
Angeles.
like, my goodness. I'm like right down the street, basically. I'm like, I'll take it.
Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. So there's going to be a lot of event planning for us to welcome everybody to LA. And I'll be in charge of that. And then for Go Month in January, I've got some great ideas for some fun, a really fun project where we can really make an impact and hopefully get some press coverage and really get the NAPO name out there.
Well, I'm here to help you with that. Any way, shape, or form I can, to get it out to people, because I'm in the media, so whatever I can do to help. I'm telling you on camera, you can come to me and we can try to get some stuff out there. If I get some connections or whatever, talk to me. Because I think NAPO is very important and it should be more well known.
Yeah.
I felt that way for the last 6 years. I've been a NAPO member, and I just feel like that's something that's very important. And NAPO-LA, it's a big city. And I'm like, hold on 1 second, please. But yeah, NAPO-LA should be out there more. It's a big city. It should be out there more. This is a good question. I never asked a question of anybody. What do you see your role as vice president? What does that mean to you? Like, what do you think your role is?
Well, I think, supporting the board and supporting NAPO Los Angeles, and like I mentioned, event planning and really trying to get the word out about NAPO. If anyone is looking for an organizer or a productivity consultant to for the first stop to be NAPO. Like, put in your zip code and look for a local organizer, because the importance of being a NAPO organizer is that we have a set of ethics and morals that we follow. You know, anyone can just be an organizer. And I know when I started my business 11 years ago,
You're like
uh,
me. Oh, funny. Like me.
yeah, 2009.
Yeah, same here.
You know, I did it from a book. I just created it and I started, you know, putting the word out locally. And I had looked into NAPO, but at the time I wasn't investing any money
Yeah.
because I had no money,
Same
you
here.
know, to invest.
Mhm.
And, you know, but I think for so many people looking to become an organizer, it's so great to get involved in NAPO and to become a member and to, you know, network with other organizers and work as assistants and, you know, really get the ins and outs of what it's like to be a good organizer. Because I think so many people, you know, don't have, I know someone who is not a NAPO member and she's like, oh, my clients, they give me all their great stuff. And I'm like, you know, you don't take stuff from them. That, you know, so it's just, you know, you learn the ins and outs. It's a structure and guidelines of how to be the best in your field. And I really take pride in being a NAPO member, and especially being on the board and, you know, having all of these other organizers to work with. It's fantastic.
I like the networking part of it. I feel like we're all satellites. We're all entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, whatever words you want to use. So we don't have that office. You know, I always say the water cooler stuff. We don't sit around the water cooler. I'm aging myself, folks. I know. But he's talking about the water cooler and go, so we need a coffee. So, you know, that client today was crazy. You know, we don't have that in person. So I like that NAPO. I can call on somebody. It could be you or Regina Lark or Tanisha or whoever, and be like, "Girl, this is crazy today. Can I just like talk for a second, or have a question?" And you can actually go on to NAPO's site and ask a question from somebody, and somebody who has great experience and knowledge in that particular subject can answer you with a great answer. And I like that part of NAPO especially.
Yeah, and it's, you know, I think I was hesitant to joining because I thought like, oh, I don't want to like talk with other people. I'm going to be trying to get jobs for, like, it's not competitive, you know. We're all in different areas. We all have our specialties and we all have our client base and our goals of who we want to work with and what we're really good at, and just supporting one another and being able to, you know, every time I go to a NAPO event, it's so inspiring and I learn something new every single time, multiple things. And like, I'm doing a big move for a celebrity right now, and he wants white glove service, and he, you know, and so I call my colleagues and I say, hey, you do all these moves, so who should I use and what? So it's like these resources you get to tap into. Whereas if you didn't have that community, you'd be on Yelp or just kind of guessing. So it's trusted resources. We have our business partners that come to our meetings and know us, and we can trust in them. And it's wonderful. It's really, you know, a solid foundation.
You said something that's very important. So anybody who's watching, who's considering joining NAPO, you haven't joined. I have people who listen to this who are not NAPO members also. She says something that's very important. There's no competition, especially like in LA. LA's huge. If you live in LA, you understand that. Right now, she and I are about 25 miles away from each other right now. I'm in Inglewood and you're out in the valley. I mean, we're literally 25, 30 miles away from each other. There's a lot of work to go around, first of all. And so there's no competition. So when you join NAPO, it's not about, well, if I join, then they got, I mean, I compete with these people over here and they're doing it over here. Like, no, it's not that at all. It's like, I love being able to say to somebody, you know, girl, I'm not driving to Encino on a Friday, you know, at 5. You live out there. So you want to take this client? You know, this is for you. And then hopefully for you, you'll say, James, I don't drive to the South Bay. I don't do Long Beach. Can you handle this client? And I know I can trust that I'm passing you on because I can trust you because you're following the same things I'm following. Make sense? I kind of like.
Totally. Yeah, absolutely. I've referred lots of clients to other NAPO colleagues, and we help each other out. And I've been using two of the newer members as assistants, and
Okay.
they're so great. I've been able to work with a lot of people that are in NAPO and get to know them and give them work and kind of, mentor them a little bit. And that's really fulfilling. I love that.
Yeah, I agree. I like that because we're veterans now, girl. We're veterans. 11 years.
We are, yes.
But because I've been a board chairperson before. But I remember when I joined, I thought I would go as far as probably be on a board possibly, and maybe one of the lower rungs. I never thought. Did you ever think that you'd be a vice president of a board?
I did not. No, that was not on my radar at all. And I think, when I first got on the board as director of marketing, I had been helping out, doing some promotion on Facebook. I was like posting on Facebook for NAPO like twice a week. And then when the board turn was coming up, I was asked, hey, would you like to be marketing director? And I'm like, well, I was hesitant for sure, because I don't have, I did work in television, but as a development exec. So I didn't have marketing.
That's right. You did. That's right.
Experience. I certainly have a lot of good ideas. That's for sure.
You do. She does, actually. She has some good ideas. So, yeah.
But marketing, and I was able to do it. And the cool thing about being on the board is that, you are a volunteer. So really, there's no like set expectation. They say, well, generally it's like 10 to 20 hours a week, however much time you want to put into it. Some months are more, some months are less. It just depends on what's going on. Yeah. But being on a board and learning Robert's rules and learning how to just listen and be quiet and take things in, and how to, make a motion and vote. I didn't know any of that. So that's been a great experience that I know I will take with me. At my kids' school, I was vice president of the PTA, but it was very casual. It wasn't like this, like a set board meeting every month, and with very specific roles. Yeah. So it's been I highly recommend getting involved in any way you can. And I think by volunteering, if you're interested in it, and volunteering in any way you can with your local organization, whatever you're interested in, especially with NAPO. We love to have volunteers. It's such a great way to learn. Being of service is always like just filling your karma bank. You are getting great, mentoring and education by doing it and by helping out selflessly, but you're gaining so much. It's great.
And I will add to that also for people. You can make great friendships too. And so I went through some tough times last few years, and people, and literally when the main president association calls you to say, how are you doing? That kind of service to me doesn't go unnoticed. You know what I mean? Like I also had something bad happen to me once as an organizer, and I had people calling me saying, James, you're good in the business. Don't let them get you down. Just like you said, encouragement. But it wasn't just like peripheral. So it was literally like, they were like, James, let's talk to you. How are you feeling? The friendships are invaluable also. I will say that. I will say that also.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because a lot of people, sometimes you can't be friends in your business with people. Sometimes it's a little rough. But this is the kind of business you can have friends and be colleagues. You can do both.
Yeah. And you just learn. I mean, the learning never stops, and I consider myself to be very teachable. I want to learn because I don't work with my ego in play. I feel very humble. Like there's always something to learn. I don't know everything. I think I'm good at what I do, but that's because, I really enjoy, I'm passionate about helping people. especially helping people to shift their perspective about their stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you're a real person. And I liked you when I first met you, so, you know, if that means anything. But no, I did.
Like that.
Yeah, you know, we hit it off. We hit it off. I mean, completely. As we wrap this up, it's been great talking to you. What do you, I mean, and this is uncertain times, I know it is, and maybe it's an unfair question, but I'm just kind of curious what your thoughts are. Just how do you think we're gonna be able to go forward? Just any kind of, it was words of encouragement or what you're thinking, just what are you thinking?
You know, I'm just like, I tell my kids to, you know, like, we can't future trip. We're not able to predict what's going on. But, you know, initially when this whole pandemic began and we were, you know, sequestered to home, I was trying to be so positive and there's this and that. And then I got a little burnt out on that. I got a little backlash from people. And basically it's one day at a time. I mean, I personally don't watch the news. I read the news every day. Because I feel like too much information just makes me more confused and it's overwhelming. But I feel like this is like hitting a reset button, you know, and hopefully this time at home has been introspective and people can really determine what's important and what's not important. And in terms of organizing, I mean, that's just something we all need all the time.
Sure.
It's not just about going into a space and organizing it once. It's the maintenance, it's the daily habits, it's the shopping habits. It's, you know, really having respect for your space and your belongings. So I don't know. Did I answer your question? I tend to ramble.
You did good. Yeah, we're gonna end it on that. No, it's a good one. We're gonna end it on that. It's a good one. Thank you, Miss Stacy, for being on the show.
Thank you, James. I love talking to you.
I love talking to you too. Tell folks out there where they can find your business, find you, maybe find NAPO-LA. Give them the deets.
Sure. So NAPO is a national organization. You can check out NAPO at, and I believe it's napo.net.
Yes, it is.
NAPO-LA is NAPO-LA, and that's NAPO. LosAngeles.net. And my business is Stacy Thomes Organizing, and I'm at STACYTHOMESORGANI organizing. I'm not used to spelling out loud like that.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of interesting. I'm like, it's ORGANIZING. Yes.
That's it.
Yes, exactly. She's pretty. So that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm joking. Well, she is pretty, but I'm just joking. She's smart too.
StacyTomesOrganizing.com.
Yeah.
You can find me there. And on Instagram, and on Facebook, and on LinkedIn. I'm everywhere on LinkedIn, so yeah.
She's everywhere. And you can find me, James Lott Jr., where all James Lott Jr.'s are sold, at James Lott Jr. on all social media platforms. That's right, kids. The Super Organizer Show is on every single streaming service in the world. It literally is. I just added 4 more streaming services like Deezer and all these things. So it's everywhere. Just look for SOS Show at James Lott Jr. Also, this video will be on my YouTube channel, JLJ Media. So please be kind. Hit that subscribe button and that little bell. It's like right down there, like a little bell or something. So you get notifications for more episodes like this. And you can watch all my previous episodes that are on there of amazing people talking about organizing. And of course, you can follow everything I do. Just type in James Lott Jr. and you'll find me everywhere. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Stacy, for being on the show. And please get organized.